you're great. Sit on my seat for a minute and find out. Wamama High. That's a handover. We must mentor, we must hand over. Wamama High. May I begin by acknowledging our chief guest, Dr. Ida Odinga, a friend of many years, acknowledging all the great women on the stage and in the audience, because you're all great. If I could, I would introduce every single one of you by name. I want to acknowledge the organizers of this great function. And resilience is the other name of every woman. So even the blessings of rain did not deter you. A bit chilly, a bit cold when we came in, but I think by now we've all cheered ourselves up. When I look at your faces, I see people who are vibrant and who are ready. Thank you very much for all of you. I want to say today, yes, the theme is a million or 10 million women for Martha. Martha may not be your name, but this is your journey too. This is about you, not about me. Without the mamas, the voices of women demanding for space, there would be no Martha. There would be no position of running mate in a leading formation. There would not be so many elevated to the spaces they today occupy. This is a culmination of the journey of every single woman of Kenya. And it's not just about post-independence, it's before. If you listen to the stories of your mothers, of your grandmothers, you will know that in their daily struggles, they were struggling for recognition, for space, recognition of their humanity, recognition of their leadership, recognition for space. This is a culmination of the toil of women for years, and we are not yet done. We are still on the journey. So we are here today to energize ourselves, to reinvigorate ourselves, to identify ourselves with this journey as our journey, to own it, and to go and work in every nook and cranny to realize our dream. The short term may be on the 9th of August. We will not have arrived even then. We will have covered a milestone, and we'll be looking forward to more. Until every woman and girl is liberated, and until our humanity is recognized, and until we walk hand in hand with our brothers in all our daily struggles, we are not yet there. So today, seeing your faces, seeing you here, or, in spite of the tough weather this morning, my profession is about talking, whether lawyer, whether politician, is about talking, so I'll be going on it's back soon enough. I would have still gone on because I'm used to it. So I'm saying until each one of us is liberated, socially, economically, politically, then we will have liberated the world, because it's already implanted in us. To unlearn on a daily basis, it's a lifelong venture. And then to prepare the next generation without the patriarchy. So we have a job to do. And we raise our families We don't raise them alone. That's why there are so many chamas. You want fees, you call a few to support you. You want to improve your house, you call a few. We have those chamas that help us to organize our homes, our families, our businesses. We must continue. We organize families, we organize communities, we organize the nation, and we organize the world. I see what we are doing as bigger than a Kenyan thing. One, we want to teach ourselves to own campaigns for candidates we believe in, to own campaigns of women who will carry the other women on their back. We don't want women who will get into the space and forget their identity. So we want to nurture ourselves to be the women who carry the women and who carry their families, their communities, and the nation and the world. You see? If you look around, whether in our religious organizations, in our schools, in the community, the Harambee spirit, the bulk of those who participate without missing, even when they don't have much to share, is the women. It is the women who will come with a little of their farm produce, with a little of the food they should be cooking for their families because they didn't have cash. It's the women who will come in and bring their labor as a contribution. Women never miss out, even when they have nothing. They have their love, their spirit of community to offer. I think we need to usher a new dawn, not just for women, but for our country. What are campaigns about? Is it about the candidate giving, or is it about the community owning for their parties, for the candidates they believe in, and giving their time like you gave this morning? This is not a paid engagement. You came in the rain because you believe in. I want to salute all of you for that. You are here to stand up for Kenya, and we want to raise a nation that stands up for itself. And do you know what? It's not just about the campaigns, the volunteerism, and the money that goes into it. It's also about when we occupy positions of power. You who is a counting clerk, you who is a presiding officer, you who is a returning officer, if you stood up for Kenya, we would not have disputed elections. Because you would do your duty and you would be standing up, not for candidates, for your country. We need a nation that stands up for itself. We need a nation of integrity. We talk of institutions, but institutions are you and me. We are the ones who will mess up or raise Kenya. And I'm asking you this morning, as nurturers, because women are nurturers, let us stand up. Not just for ourselves, not just for Martha. Let us stand up for Kenya. We want a nation where we all have space, where our children and our grandchildren, for those of us who are in that stage of granny, we want a nation where our children, our grandchildren have space and can have opportunity to be what they desire to be, each depending on their talents and their effort. That's what we are looking forward to. We are looking forward to raise a strong Kenya. I want to urge you, with the determination of a woman, nobody raises a frail baby to a chest-thumping man, leader, or woman without the determination and resilience of a woman. So God has built you to be strong, and I know of nobody as strong as a woman. We don't carry it on our faces. We don't wear it as a badge. But think of your mother, of the woman next door, and you will realize that in truth, strength is the other name of a woman. Determination is the other name of a woman. Resilience is our name. Generosity is another name for women. A woman will serve, leave herself with nothing, and serve her children and a guest who has come in. Without that giving spirit, you cannot nurture. You cannot nurse, because every woman is a nurse, whether trained or untrained. Sick people in the household belong to women. Those who are unable to fend for themselves, if there is somebody with disability who must be cared for, with a severe disability, they belong to a woman. I once did a case where the man almost blamed the wife for their disabled child, until it outraged a male judge so much that he ordered the man to shut up, because it was so disheartening. But every person who needs help in the home, unpaid care work is the other name of women. So by nature, by socialization, you have a giving heart. Even when we try to be mean, search yourself, you still have a giving heart. Let's be true to our nature. Let's give to our country. Let's give to our family, to ourselves first, to our families, to our communities, and to the nation and to the world. And we will surely get there. So today, it's a call to action. Action because we care. We care about the environment we live in, the social environment. We care about the rising cases of domestic violence and especially gender-based violence. We care about the many cases of violence, even in our institutions of learning. We care about how violent our society has become. We must go back to factory setting and raise a caring community, starting with our families. And in the campaign, it's a caring community too. We are looking for leaders. Remember what you tell your child. I know not of a mother who tells their children to become bullies. I know of no mother who tells their child to go out there and disrespect everyone. I know of no mother who tells a child, I want you to take thieving as a career. We all, and as Africans, now I'm talking as Africans, which has found value, placed in our constitution as our national values. We are all raising our children to be hardworking. That's why you'll pinch a child or pat them on the back and tell them, lazy one, get up. Because you want them to be hardworking, to be able to fend for themselves when they get there. So we are teaching them the value of hard work, honesty. You are teaching them the value of community. That's why you are giving them work around the house. So we really must instill those values and look for them in leaders. And when leaders stray, we must use our voices to tell them that does not represent us. We must be truthful to ourselves. Even when we pray, oh God, help us, your actions must match your words. Otherwise, it will be prayer without faith and prayer without action, and it will be of no use. Today is just a call to action and to say this is about us. The name Martha is there because today I'm running. I've been appointed to run as a deputy president, but it's your journey too. What happens with this in this space is going to influence the space you are in, the space of your child, the space of your grandchild. So let us affirm ourselves and let us look for women we can support, and men also, because it will not be women alone. But whoever you support, let that person espouse the values you believe in. We cannot be a country without values. We'll be heading to doom. Now, before I finish, you'll allow me to go a little further and tell you that in my view, our nation is facing a crisis of leadership, a crisis of trust. We don't trust ourselves and we don't trust one another. Yes. That is why we keep on asking the IEBC, because we can't trust them. But they are also not trusting themselves. Because if they did, they would give us an account of everything happening. They would not dodge questions. But beyond IBC, you and me are facing a deficit of trust. The lack of trust in our institutions is lack of trust in ourselves. Because it means professionals are not standing up for the country. But those professionals are backed by you and me. What conversations are we having with them when we get back to the neighborhood? Let us restore trust among ourselves. And I keep giving the example of the last American election where President Trump was captured asking the Secretary of Georgia to find for him some 11,000 votes. And that was a Republican state. But on phone, because we were hearing it recorded, the guy is telling him with a calm voice that he has a job to do, meaning he will stand by his oath of office. Okay? We also saw his own vice president, his own supporter, going to preside over a Senate hearing to confirm Biden as president. He didn't dodge duty because it's not his candidate who won. He rose up to duty. I'm using those as live examples of things we've seen on screen relating to elections. And I want, with the women of Kenya, to ask our brothers and sisters who will be engaged in the electoral process, stand up for your country. Stand up to be counted. It doesn't matter whether you are a law enforcement officer. It doesn't matter whether you are a presiding officer, whether you are a candidate supporter like my supporters. It doesn't matter whether you are just a voter. Stand up for your country, do what is right. And I have this belief that a majority of people are good people. That the majority in our country, in every space, are good people. It's just that the voices of good people are muted, and the voices of people with rogue behavior are the loudest, and they sound like the whole world. I just want to encourage you, even if you be alone, stand up for your country. It matters. It does matter when you stand up. It is infectious. Somebody else will see you standing up and will do as you do. Bad behavior is similarly infectious. So know that you are responsible, not just for yourself, for those around you. So let us hold hands and do this together. I want to say this of my principal, that he's a man of courage. Either don't ask me how I know, I'm going to say how. He knows me because we've grown up together in politics. We entered parliament same time. And even before we entered, being friends with Madam Ida, we had interaction. So he knows me. He knows that sometimes I do take a stand, if it's on principle, where I may not be moved. Even recently, we had national issues we took opposite sides in matter of the Constitution. He still went ahead and named me as his running mate. He is a man of courage, a man of conviction, and a man who believes in himself and what he wants to do for Kenya. So he believes in what the Constitution ordains, that we are entitled to our views. We reason, we try to talk to each other with reason. He was not looking for a praise choir. He was looking for people who can offer alternative ideas. It takes a strong and courageous man to pick a strong woman. Okay? And for that, I salute him. Okay? I salute him, and I promise to be a good deputy. And I pray and work for that every day. And being a good deputy means being a good worker for the nation. Because we are all working to serve you, not to serve ourselves. And we will follow our laws, and that's what I said in my acceptance speech. that we will always follow our laws, and he too said it. So I want to assure you that I'm holding this space for you. I'll hold it with honor, and I'll do what is required of me. Just one last bit about my principle, because I'll be guilty of withholding information if I don't say it. You will recall the year 1995. We went to Beijing as Women's World Conference on Women, where the Beijing Declaration and all the good things we try to enforce today were agreed upon. When we came back as members of parliament, and I know we were there with Zippy, when we came back as members of parliament, I remember Honorable Beth Mugo, now Senator Beth Mugo. I remember Honorable Charity Ngilu, now Governor Ngilu. They all brought motions to implement some of the things we discussed. I also brought the Equality Bill and the Domestic Violence Bill. They never saw light of the day, but the motions succeeded. The motion for affirmative action, etc. But then there was one man, only one man, who brought a motion also, seeking to establish a gender commission. That man was none other than Raila Amolo Odinga. And anybody doubting can go to the Hansard 95-96 and check. And I know that is the motion the late President Kibaki used to establish a gender commission way ahead of the 2010 Constitution. You see? So what I want to say of my principal, he didn't just think of women because it was a campaign season. It is something he has done before. He used to support, even if you go to the Hansard, you find him supporting the motions by Beth and the others. And then he brings in his own motion. An odd thing those days, but we were very grateful as women. I remembered that on the day I was appointed, because it's good that stories be told, so that you don't just think that things are done as a campaign gimmick. I lead a political party known as NARC Kenya, but I want to stand here and tell you that of the women be elected, not nominated, elected to parliament, ODM has been responsible for a majority, who include this girl. Today, I have heard competition saying they have more women on the ballot. It may be true, but it depends. Which seats have you nominated them for? I know that my principal nominates women for winnable seats. Iko mutu atakunominate mahali huwezi. So it is after the tally of this election we will see which formation has more women. But in Azimio, we are not being promised space. We already have space, represented by me. And therefore, I'm seeing God opening doors. This space being actualized. You have 2 gender activists in the presidency. Own this space, it's your space. It's not just about gender, it's about transformation. Okay? In this country, people who have fought for liberation have never occupied the presidency. At independence, it was not those who were in the forest who occupied, it was others. After the 202 liberation, it's not those who were in the trenches occupied. We went into government, but we were not in the presidency. This is a unique time. It's the only time that those who have fought for liberation are likely to sit in the presidency. Make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. The generals of the liberation are now likely to sit in the driving seat. And I want to promise you and to promise before God, we will make it work for Kenya. It is not about us, it's about our country. Women arise. People of Kenya, arise. Ours arise. Our husbands, brothers, arise. Let the nation arise. It is our time. Let us go to work. Please don't wait to be sent. Don't wait for a letter. This is your space. Let us go to every corner. And I'm telling everybody, with the presence of a woman, every Kenyan is covered. And I'm reminding the men, kwani who looks after them? So if a woman is in the house, you too are catered for. And we talked about helping those who need help in the house. It's us. Nurturing, it's us. This is about us and our families. Ladies, let's go to work. Ni wakati wetu mama. Can we end with mama? Can we just sing one verse of mama? Because that song is not about one mama. Ni mama wewe na mimi. Ni wakati wako.
Hapo kina mama, transformation, transformative leadership. Kina mama,